It is now time for Ring the Bell Radio, a wrestling podcast.
Well, hello.
Jesus Christ. What an intro.
Excuse me, audience. I apologize. Excuse me. I went to say hello to you, and I just started coughing. I don't know what the heck happened with there. Oh, did you put something in my drink there, King?
Always.
Okay, good. That's what I thought. Okay, let's try that again. Hello, everybody. The first time was just for practice, but now, since you are listening to me, the great JD, which means you must be listening to Ring the Bell Radio, a wrestling podcast. Long live the king. Long live the king.
You haven't done my full introduction yet.
I was just expecting something like, yes, absolutely.
The answer is, of course.
Okay. All right. So the gentleman, the object that you just hear talking.
The object.
Yes. The object that you just heard talking over there is our Royal Highness. And for you, our listeners, you should be privileged to have audience in front of such a magnanimous individual. He is the leader of his own kingdom. What kingdom is that? We don't know. We're still trying to figure that one out. But he is our Highness, our Leaves, Your Majesty, King Logan.
Yes. Welcome, my amazing and magnanimous fans. It is I, King Logan, and you are listening to Ring the Bell Radio, a King Logan podcast. And other people are on it as well.
The people already know what they're listening to. Why do you have to repeat?
No one listens to your intro. They get to the bit where you start speaking funny, and then they know that I'm coming up afterwards. That's the real start to the show.
You don't have to repeat what I already told them, though.
Yeah, but you see, if a parrot just says something, it don't mean anything. If a human says it to the parrot, it means something. You're the parrot.
Oh, geez, thanks a lot. Geez, thanks a lot. Who's the one that hired you on the show anyway?
It doesn't matter.
You're just getting this is getting as bad as I mean, I'm gonna have to start hanging out with Barris. Speaking of which, where is Barris?
Who knows?
Who
knows?
I was just going to say that we usually make fun of him for not being here, but we really don't have any room because we haven't been here the last few weeks. But we can still make fun of Barris for not being here.
We have to make fun of Barris. It's in the contract.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's right. It's in the contract. We make fun of Barris.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So knowing Barris, he messaged just earlier saying he was going to go take a nap. And,
but that might be code for something else, like go to a raver with 20 girls or some sort of drug party.
Drugs.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Ecstasy. Ecstasy.
Don't start. You're going to get banned on these platforms.
We're not going to get banned.
You can't just start saying drug names. You can't
LSD.
be like, oh, what about, the white boy Christmas? Oh, what about the happy dust? What about the pixie shine?
Now the reason what? The pixie shine.
You ain't lived until you shined like a pixie, mate.
No, it's funny that we just brought up drugs. Now, audience, we do not condone doing drugs at all.
Unless they are legal drugs.
Unless they're legal drugs that were prescribed by you. Yeah. It's funny that you just brought that up that drugs came up into the discussion. What you talk? I get to see my wife now. What you talk about on your podcast? Drugs.
Lots of drugs.
Lots of drugs.
Pixie shining.
So there's the. I know there was something you wanted to bring up, but I have to punch this up and show this to you now. But like I said, audience, since drugs came up, and somehow that always comes up when Barris is mentioned. Have you seen the different versions of Kane out there on the independent circuit?
Oh, all right. So
Okay, we saw Blue Kane.
we saw Blue Kane.
Okay, did you? I just want to see this. Did you see White Kane?
No, show
Okay.
it to me now.
Okay, but he's not called White Kane.
What's he called?
Okay. Yeah. I'm not going to say it. Well, do you just want me to tell you, or do you want to?
No, I want to see it. Come on.
Okay. All right. So
Come
let me bring it up on our if I could hit the right button. You see, you redone all this stuff. I got to learn where everything is again.
Yeah, it's called technology and progress.
You know,
It's not 1950s, mate. You ain't gonna come home and your wife gonna give you a bourbon and rub your feet. Come on,
Yes.
press them buttons.
All right, I'm getting there. Okay. Do you see the name of this wrestler?
Cocaine,
Say that again.
cocaine.
CoKane. Okay.
So
As you-
it's CoKane.
Okay, so I want to describe before I play this for you, Logan. Okay, it's only a couple of minutes because this video it repeats the same thing over and over again. But anyway, it's how old school the Big Red Machine Kane was dressed up. You know, he had the full mask, the full outfit, and you know, from when he first came to WWF back in '97. But this wrestler is dressed all in white and black. Kane mask, white and black, and the hair. You could see the hair. Okay. So I'm gonna play this now.
Wait, he's
And-
fighting the Soul Taker.
He's fighting the Soul Taker.
This is some dollar store Undertaker Kane. I
Okay.
love it.
Well, this isn't the whole match. This is just you're gonna see Kane's finishing what he does as a part of his or I'm sorry, you're gonna see CoKane's part of what he does for his finishing move. Okay. So I'm gonna play it here. Make sure I have it rewound all the way. Oh, there's a better picture of it before I start it there, King. You can see CoKane there. All right, with the Soul Taker. But here we go. You ready? You ready?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Add the H back in. Nope, counter.
He's out of it. Big throat thrust by CoKane. He's reaching for something. He's reaching for something.
What's he got? What's he got?
CoKane has
He's got a baggie. It's an 8-ball. He's got an
Oh
8-ball.
my god! Oh my!
And CoKane goes for the crazy.
CoKane is fired up, brother! Coke slam to the depths of hell! Add the
Did you know what it was called there? It was not the choke slam. It was the Coke
Coke
slam.
slam. Oh,
So- You just, I'm going to let you, our audience looks forward to this. You just saw this little excerpt of CoKane. Please describe what you just saw.
okay, so imagine Kane, but black and white with an afro. Okay, and yeah, before he does his choke slam, he pulled out a baggie of white powder, which he proceeded to pour all over his face / mask, go crazy, and then Coke slam his opponent. It is glorious. It is absolutely glorious to watch. I need to find this guy's matches. We need a CoKane day.
Well,
Oh man,
you just say we need a CoKane day.
I need some cocaine in my life.
So
Jesus Christ.
here's another picture of the wrestler CoKane, and he has looks like a referee in a very precarious position. There's CoKane with his madam referee.
I love it. It's just so budget.
Isn't it?
It's so budget. Like, I get, all right, okay, so funny thing about this is I watched the Bianca Belair and Montez Ford reality show that they have.
Yeah, yeah.
So Bianca Belair makes all of her own outfits.
She does.
Every single one of them she hand makes herself. And she makes Montez Ford's outfits as well.
Oh.
All right, so there's no excuse. If Bianca Belair can make a really good ring like outfit, like CoKane's is basically a jacket that the arms are cut off and it's been painted like white and black.
Oh my gosh.
It's terrible, but it's so good. I love it.
So this wrestler, and I'll and make sure audience, if you want to look up this wrestler CoKane, please, when you're on your Google search, type in wrestler CoKane.
Yeah, otherwise people gonna be looking at your browser history.
Yes. Yes, I found that out the hard way. I was typing in CoKane, CoKane, and all that came up was cocaine at first before you got to the. But if you type in wrestler, CoKane, it'll come up. But there's one more. This wrestler does another persona too. He does a couple of more. Logan, okay. I don't have the matches. I just have the pictures. Okay, so hold on. Let me bring this up. I'm trying. It's just going to be a small picture. Here we go. Oh, no. Where is it? Here it is. Now, look at the picture on the right. You see it right there?
Oh, my God. It's like...
That is Gane, Gayne, the big gay machine. Okay. I'm serious. Okay. And then, okay, I think I had a match for him if you want me to try to find it. I don't think we have to, but you could get the idea.
Oh, dear, that's great.
Okay. And then there's one more. I don't think it's he doesn't do it, someone else does it. I think this is this is a chick that does this, okay? And I haven't researched this one enough to find out like where in the world or if it's even in the States. But as you can see it right here, look at the picture on the right, that's Candy Cane.
Candy Cane.
Okay.
Oh, I love it.
So let's review. You have Blue Cane, CoKane, Gane, and now Candy Cane.
I love it. Like, you've got to give people like their dues for how imaginative they are. Like that. All right, I understand it's such a gimmick work, but my God, it's funny as hell. Like, you got to have some imagination to come up with stuff like that. I love it.
Oh, you know what?
Wow.
I think I found a little excerpt of Gane that we could see here if you want to see it.
Game for the people at home is basically the same Kane outfit, but it's tie-dye.
Yes. All right. So I'm looking for it here. Just bear with me here, King. I have it. All right. So here we go. Before, this is then we're done with this. So I'm going to share it. And here we go.
Oh my God.
Sorry about the volume there. I couldn't control it.
The pose at the end is amazing. You must send that to me so I can screenshot it, and that is going to be my phone's background. That is amazing.
Oh,
Absolutely
too bad the
amazing.
Paris. Too bad the DJ wasn't here to see that.
Oh dear.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's review the last 10 minutes that we've wasted of your life. You heard you heard us. Let's review here. You heard us talk about Barris and drugs, which led into the independent wrestler CoKane, who his finishing move, he brings out a white powdery substance out of his pocket, which the ring announcer even said he has an 8-ball. He dumps it all over his face, gets all jazzed up, goes over and coke slams his opponent. So now you also have Gain, the big gay machine, who I believe in that description it said the gayest wrestler in the world.
That's great.
Okay. And then you also have some chick somewhere that I don't have enough information about, Logan, is Candy Cane.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look her up.
Yeah, we're going to have to look that up. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ring the Bell Radio, a wrestling podcast, where we talk about...
Sometimes we talk about good wrestling.
Hey, and now we could talk about cocaine.
Next time Barris is on, the first thing you do is be like, "Oh, we need to talk about some cocaine, guys." Like I got some cocaine at home, and it was just amazing.
Oh my God, we're gonna do that.
That's gonna be so good.
The next time Barris is on, when it's just us, we're just gonna talk about cocaine, see what he does, see what his reaction is. Okay.
Yeah, if he's like, "Oh yeah, I took some cocaine home last night," then
we're gonna be
we're going to be like, we have a new drug policy. So you need to pee in a jar, please.
Barris, we were talking about the wrestler cocaine, not actual. And he'll go, "Oh, I was just kidding." No, you're suspended. Go out there and we're going to have Sharon talk to you. And we'll be like, "For real, give us the credit cards." But anyway, yes, Ring the Bell Radio, a wrestling podcast. Sometimes we talk about wrestling, and sometimes we talk about cocaine. Anyway, Logan.
Yes.
I know there was something that you are frothing at the mouth that you've been wanting to talk about.
Yes. Let's talk about Netflix.
Oh, Lord. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. You're going to bring that up, that debacle up.
Yeah. I mean, it's been like, this has not just been on my mind. This has been on a lot of people's mind.
Yeah.
Wrestling fans that I've talked to over the last week now about it. And the main thing is what happened, because we still don't have that answer yet. Was this just Netflix server blew up somewhere, or
you're talking about on the Tyson Paul
Tyson
fight.
Yeah. So, or was it, do they just didn't realize how many people were going to watch at one time, or is it that their infrastructure isn't set out for that amount of people watching one show and it being live? Because if it's something that's recorded, that's easy. That's just on a server somewhere. But when it's live, you have one point of failure, and that's that live part.
Question.
So go for it.
Have they ever done a live streaming event before? And if so, has it been of this magnitude?
They did, but it's not been of this magnitude. They did, I can't remember what it was, but I know they've done a couple of things live. I know one of them was a concert that they did live and something else, but yeah, it was nothing of this magnitude. And there was no problems, on their end about it. I honestly think that it was they didn't realize, because they're so used to dealing with a video service that's on demand, that getting 65 million people
to the whole world.
They watch the same live event without the full television, satellite, broadcasting infrastructure. Because of that, I think they just didn't understand how big it was going to be. And the thing that a lot of people have brought up to me is 65 million people tuned in to watch that. But last year, on Peacock, nearly the same amount of people watched 2 days of WrestleMania.
There's a difference there. Peacock is set up as a live streaming platform, though.
There you go.
Right? Because okay, check it out. Let's take the Olympics, for example. If you still had the cable box or whatever, right? You could tune in to NBC, whether you had Verizon, Comcast, whatever, and watch it. Oh, I hate to say old school TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
Via cable. But you could also tune in to Peacock, like what myself and we did at my house, because we just have streaming. We cut the cord 13 years ago, before that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you could be sitting there watching the Paris Olympics, say what was that, Winter Olympics, right? No, Summer Olympics.
Summer Olympics.
You could be watching track and field, okay, on your cable TV, but we could be sitting over here on Peacock watching the exact same thing we're doing. It's live streaming.
Yeah.
Okay, not to mansplain for anyone, but that's just we're setting the scene here. So they're built for that. They're built as a library and a live streaming service. I think since we've had Peacock, or since it started, we've had minimal problems. Most of the time it would be like, oh, our internet went out or something, so it wasn't the Peacock service. Or when I'd be around your house or something, I think there was once or twice it froze or
It
something
froze
like that.
Kicked us out.
Kicked us out. But that's to be expected, though. Any streaming service you have, that's to be expected. You're going to run into something like that.
But the funny thing is, like, go ahead, finish your point.
Well, no, I was just saying, but with Netflix, you're right. I believe you said they were starting to stick their toe in the water a little to go with the live streaming. And with what they did was never anything of this size before. So if they're planning on taking WWE or in the UFCs or whatever, and whatever else they're looking to do live, yeah, they got to look into seeing what happened, what the problem is, how to correct it. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe we don't have the quote unquote Netflix infrastructure to handle this.
That's exactly like a lot of people have been worrying, because, as we all know, Raw's moving over there on January the 6th, and we're going to start getting pay-per-views maybe on there once the contract with Peacock is up.
That is 2026.
Yes,
the full contract is up with Peacock.
We still got a couple of years, and I mean, honestly, Raw, I don't see it as a big problem, because maybe 10 million people watch Raw, maybe 20 million people, which is average viewership for it. It's nothing huge. But yeah, I think the live events, they didn't realize that the infrastructure for that is a lot different than just firing off to your nearest server and pulling the video and streaming it to you. You've got one point of failure. All of those signals need to meet at that one place to get that live broadcast. And I think they just didn't have the infrastructure for it. And they were like, shit, afterwards, what have we done? We really need to build this up a bit more. And I think with the WWE question hanging around, is they're really going to move their asses on trying to make, the first Raw there be, problem free. Is how I'm seeing it.
Now, since we're on the Netflix and Jake Paul, I said Lake Paul, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. I did see the fight. Obviously, it was not on Netflix. I happened to, because when Netflix wasn't working, I know it wasn't working with you. You were having problems, pretty much the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
I was almost about to say, you know what? I'll wait till tomorrow. I'll see who won, and then there'll probably be personal cell phone videos or whatnot all over the internet with excerpts and highlights of the fight. So that's what I was thinking. So I was sitting here at the house, and it was one of those, like, yes, it was like what, the fight didn't start till what, midnight our time?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So anyway, it had to be like 11:30. I'm sitting in my living room and I'm not tired. And of course that was what, that was a Friday night fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm not tired. I don't want to go to sleep yet. And so I'm laying on my couch in my living room, and then I tried the Netflix on my phone just because of what the heck. Didn't work, and I went, well. So I got on the X, the Twitter, whatever. There was a lot of people doing watch parties where you were watching them talk about the fight. Well, I'm like, that's not what I want to see. I don't want to see them talk about the fight where you don't see the fight. But I found someone who was there at the arena, and he had his phone straight fixated. Remember that huge jumbotron that was up there? I mean, that really big one. He had his phone pointing right at that thing. It was the former Steeler Antonio Brown. Had it pointed right at that jumbotron. And that's how I watched it. They didn't shut him off. Twitter didn't shut him down until about 10 seconds after they announced that Paul was the winner. Okay, so I went, okay, and let's talk about the fight for a minute after I'm done with this, all right? Because I have something to say about it. Yes, we're going to talk about a boxing match here on our show, which is fine. We've talked about boxing before. Roddy Piper, Mr. T. So if I'm going to work backwards here. So after the fight was over, the first thing I thought was, that was it. That did not meet the hype from the last 6 months at all. Okay. Now, go forward towards the introductions. Jake Paul's coming down. Of course, his brother is with him. Okay. Riding in, what was that, a Cadillac or something?
I don't know. I never saw the entrance.
Oh, you didn't see the entrance yet. Okay.
They were both in the ring when I finally got on.
You have to look up the entrance if you can find it, because they were riding down. I forget what kind of car it was, but they had the Phil Collins song that Mike Tyson was listening to in the movie The Hangover. And I've heard this song 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times in my life, and I can't remember the name of the song. Okay. I know people are going to laugh at me when they hear this. And also, how they also said Mike Tyson likes birds. So Jake Paul's riding down in a car, and his entrance music is this Phil Collins song.
In the Air Tonight.
In the Air Tonight. Thank you. I'm like, I could hear the song in my head playing. You know what I mean? But it was just at this moment, the name of it was escaping me. So I'm trying to set the scene here for you, Logan. So it comes out. Like I just said, I know I'm repeating myself. They're in the car. They're in this nice car. It's Jake Paul. His brother Logan Paul's there. In the Air Tonight is playing in the arena over as his entrance music. And in the back of this car is a cage full of pigeons, because Mike Tyson likes pigeons. So he's psyching out, quote unquote, making fun of Mike Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
And the interesting thing is I did know this about boxing matches, that Logan Paul was not an official member of his brother's team, like the people that are allowed to be at ring with him. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can have your trainer, you have your people, you've seen Rocky, you've seen the boxing match at WrestleMania 2 and all that. And so as soon as the car gets to ringside, down this ramp, Logan Paul just disappears because he was not allowed to be at ringside. He wasn't, unless he was a ticket hold. He bought a ticket and had a seat at ringside. He was not allowed to be at ringside whatsoever. So as soon, if when you find this entrance, the car comes down, then it stops, and then you just see Logan Paul disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Because he could not step over that threshold between ramp and ringside.
Yeah, it's sanctioned match.
Because it is a sanctioned match, and the
And
rules are a little different between pro wrestling and boxing.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, to let people know at home, a sanctioned match is a boxing match that has been sanctioned by the Boxing Committee, I think, of America Commission. And basically, 3 judges are picked because remember, in boxing, we have judges as well that judge on points. Those judges have to be affiliates of the commission. And the important part about this is obviously it's supposed to be a down the middle fair fight. Nobody knows the outcome. That's why betting is allowed on it, because it's a gamble now. Obviously that can't happen with something like pro wrestling because we have scripted outcomes, but they are deadly serious with this stuff. It is like how the lottery deals with
Money.
Money tickets and things like that, because these people are literally betting money on this fight. And obviously if you throw a fight in a sanctioned match, that's the end of your career. You're never stepping in a ring again. And it raises some questions that I have about the fight.
Well,
yeah.
Okay. Hold that thought, because I'm painting the entrance here for you.
Go. Yeah.
Okay. So Jake Paul is in the ring now. And you would have loved it. There was all the pomp and circumstance, the fanfare, blah, 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 WWE style. Okay. So now it's time for Iron Mike to come down. And I don't remember offhand if I heard music or not. Regardless, this was the difference between new generation and old school. Jake Paul did all that fanfare and everything. When they announced Iron Mike, it was literally just him. His people were about 10 steps behind him, and all he did was walk down. He had his ring robe on, and all he did was walk down to that ring. Wasn't looking around at the crowd, wasn't doing anything. You could see he was trying to get himself psyched up. Gets in the ring. Okay, they get they get there. People are chanting Mike, 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 Mike. They get into the middle of the ring. The referee's giving them the rules. They tap gloves, get back to their corners. Ding, ding, round 1. Okay? And let me go through the first round here, and then I'll let you put your input in. So I'm watching this fight. You see Iron Mike throw some very, you saw the punches he threw at the beginning, where he even connected with Paul a couple of times, and you heard the crowd go, After that first round, I said 2 things to myself. Are they going to fight? Or I should say halfway through the second round, I'm sorry. Are they even going to fight? And why does it look like Tyson's holding back? That's what I was thinking about halfway, 3/4 through the second round. He looks like he's holding back on purpose. And I have a conspiracy theory on this. And then I'm done. Netflix crashes. Right? The only people that are really seeing that fight is whoever's in that arena. Word gets to the boxers. Hey, the rest of the world isn't seeing this. So kind of milk it out there. Fight, but don't fight. We're losing a lot of money here. Yeah, so go out there and just kind of act like Apollo Creed and bounce around for a little while. Throw a punch here and there. Because the rest of the 3 billion people around the world aren't getting to see this fight. Only the 55,000 that are in this ballpark or this stadium. Okay, let's go to the next round. That's a conspiracy theory right there.
You know what? I actually agree with you, but in my version of events, this happened a year ago. They were like, okay, so we're figuring this is going to be big with Mike Tyson coming back. Milk it for 8 rounds, please. You know, don't kill him. Just back off. You know, Jake, just, you know, kind of touch Mike a couple of times. You're golden. And I think that was agreed upon a long time before this match even was announced. Look, we'll give you $20 million to walk around the ring and guarantee us 8 rounds. You know,
it was a publicity stunt.
Yeah,
that's the other thing I forgot to mention. I went, this is just, you know what? This is a publicity stunt. That's all this is.
Yeah,
because if you look at Iron Mike's training videos all the way going back to last April, he should have walked right in that ring. I don't know if you've seen any of them. You probably have.
I have.
He should have walked right into that ring, and you know what? Everyone at everyone that I talked to, you know what they said when they were watching Iron Mike train? He's going to kill that kid.
Yep.
And what happened? What happened?
Exactly, and it's so funny because my wife, who has no interest in boxing or anything, you know, basically she watched the Mike Tyson videos, the training videos, months ago, and she was like, is Mike Tyson fighting like Logan Paul? And I was like, no, Jake Paul, his brother. She's like, he's gonna kill him.
Yes.
And like,
yes.
She's like, I saw these videos today, and I'd been watching the videos, you know, on and off for a few months. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, he's still got it. The man moved in some of these videos. He is super fast, like with his feet work, with his punches. I mean, it's amazing to see. And then when he got in that ring, what happened? What happened? Like, I would have expected. I said to my wife this when I started. I was like, listen, if this goes longer than 2 rounds, Jake Paul's winning it. Guarantee you.
Yeah.
And she's like, why? I was like, because Tyson normally kills people in like the first 2 rounds. If they can take 2 rounds of Tyson, you know you're going to get a good fight. But the longer it goes, the more Tyson will wear out. So if Jake Paul could just dance around for another 6 rounds, he'll be golden. But then I watched it and I was like, it's literally this is how my brain heard it. Okay, like Jake Paul, who is no slouch when it comes to boxing.
No,
okay, is a good boxer. You've got to give something to the Paul family. When they put their minds to something, they go all in 100%. You know, Logan Paul, as much as I dislike the person, I dislike the celebrity Logan Paul, I think in the ring he is a stellar wrestler and has picked it up so quick. On the other hand, Jake Paul, the guy moves to Puerto Rico to be near his trainer so he can do 6 months of intensive training. Right, yeah. So he's no slouch. These 2 guys are no slouch. And after the second round, I'm like, this is going to drag on the whole time. This is Netflix or the Boxing Commission or someone basically saying, listen, we need 8 rounds. So yeah, just you know, whoever goes, yeah.
How pissed off would the people would have been if Tyson knocked them out in the first round?
I think that's the problem. Is in the early rounds, you see Tyson lash out with some really nasty looking punches, and immediately afterwards, it's like his brain went, they told me, don't kill the kid. We need 8 rounds. We need 8 rounds. Bring it back. Bring it back. And then I think in Jake Paul's mind, it was the same thing, because I was expecting Jake Paul to just get in there as quick as he could, and try and beat Tyson at his own punching game. And it wasn't. It was so defensive, so light with the jabs. And I'm like, it's Logan Paul in his brain. The next 6 people told me 8 rounds, don't go crazy on him, blah, 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 pull it back a bit, pull it back a bit.
Well, Paul's in trouble because he came out and admitted, yeah, I know he's 58 years old. I don't want to hurt him in that ring.
Yeah.
He got in trouble with that. That's a no-no in the boxing commission, because it's, you fight to win. You give it your all. Yeah. So he's in trouble for that. He's probably going to get fined. And then this is something that when I was reading this article, I didn't know about boxing, is after every fight, no matter if you're the world champ or Glass Joe, from, who Glass Joe is.
There's Punch Out, people.
For you youngins.
Tyson's Punch Out.
Yeah, for all you youngins out there, just go look up Mike Tyson's Punch Out from the OG Nintendo Entertainment System.
Just quickly to put in there, I saw a picture. It was a kid at like some convention, and Mike Tyson was there, and he was dressed up as Glass Joe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was great. Tyson was howling. He thought it was fantastic. Go on, sorry.
Glass Joe. Now, where was I? Oh, I didn't know about this. That, yes, whether you're the world champ or Glass Joe, that after every fight, you are automatically suspended.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I think I might have the math off. I only read this earlier, that it's a day for every minute that you're in the ring, or for every round. It's either every minute or every round. So Tyson he's not going to fight again, at least that we know of. So Jake Paul is automatically suspended for 24 days or something like that. Okay. And the reason the boxing commission does that, it's recovery time.
Mm-hmm.
Allow the so he won all 8 rounds, 2-minute rounds apiece, 2-minute rounds, right? So I don't know how they figured the math. I have to read it again, but it was something like 24 days or something like that. I don't remember if it's a day per round or a day per minute. I don't know. But it's, since he went the full 8, you're basically giving him almost close to a month to recover. Okay, so now if it would have won only 2 rounds, he would have probably had like 2 weeks or a week and a half or something like that, But yeah, so he's in trouble, basically saying, "Oh yeah, I pulled punches. I didn't give it my all. I didn't want to hurt Mike."
Mm-hmm.
And those two came out and said, "Yes, we're boxers. There's going to be that bickering. There's going to be like that, I'm going to take you down. You're nothing. I'm going to take you down." But they said they both have that mutual respect to each other as boxers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So overall, when I was done, when the fight was over, I stayed up for this.
Mm-hmm.
And there's other people I saw all over Facebook the next day. I had a watch party for this. Didn't even get to see it. Or if for some people that Netflix, it was working, really, they didn't even fight. All they did was they barely threw a punch.
Yep.
That's it. That's all I got to say about it.
It's well, I was thinking, if this was like a big pre-planned thing and the commission didn't know about it, and they got found that, they milked it, they would both be like expelled from boxing. But honestly, I mean, I know Netflix, who UFC, whoever put on the fight, would get done for fraud for the gambling thing. But you got to think there's $100 million there, okay? Tyson ain't ever going to fight again. So expulsion don't really matter to him. Jake Paul is a multi-millionaire already. You could expel him, he'll go do MMA.
He'll go do something else.
He'll go turn up on WWE, whatever. So there's really no punishment to if this was a big publicity stunt and the outcome was already pre-planned. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's really it was a bad fight, and it's a shame because I have such good memories of watching Tyson with my uncle, my dad, you know, when he was on the TV versus Evander Holyfield, you know, and he was just a savage man in that ring, and that's what he was there to do. You know, he was the opposite of Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was graceful, was beautiful in the ring. Mike just went in there like a monster. And
hence, he was Iron Mike. He was like iron. You couldn't hurt him.
It was great. And if this has piqued your interest and you've never seen real boxing before, go watch some of Mike's earlier careers, fights on YouTube, and you'll see what I'm talking about. The man knocked out something like 20 odd people. It's insane how good he was. But yeah, I was severely disappointed in that. Severely disappointed. I wanted it to be something that, you know, if Jake won, he won because he was a better boxer. Or if, you know, Mike had won, he won because he killed Jake Paul by punching him too hard. You know, something like that. I guess I'm too pre-programmed by wrestling, where I want an outcome of a story, and this isn't that. This is a game for them. This is a sport. So yeah, I was disappointed in the whole thing, but you know, nobody came down to the ring with enough pizzazz. You know, you don't have the pizzazz, you can't win the match.
Speaking of games,
yeah.
Hold on, here we go. There he is.
So for a little back, Mike Tyson's Punch Out is actually just Punch Out.
There it is.
But Mike Tyson, they slapped it in. They slapped Mike Tyson's endorsement on it when it was released over here in America. It's a boxing game. It is incredibly hard, especially when you fight Mike Tyson at the end of the game. Yeah, Mike Tyson is the final boss. He is lethal hard.
Okay.
But yeah, fun stuff. But something I wanted to bring up.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
there's Glass Joe.
Oh, Mario is the ref as well.
Yes, hold on. We're gonna watch Little Mac punch Glass Joe here. Oh my God, I miss this. I miss this, man.
Right.
Come on, Little Mac, do something. This is like the Tyson match.
No, it's funny. I actually watched a whole thing about people speed running this game. Okay, and the deal is,
I'm going to turn this off now. Okay, speed running the game. What?
Speed run the game. So you try and complete the game as fast as you can. All right.
Yeah.
Each boxer has their own way of beating them, and I think with Glass Joe, it's like you have to block for 3 seconds, then move left, then move right, then move back, and then block again, and then dodge his punch and hit with your punch, and it will instantly knock him out.
They did that with the one that comes to mind was like Bald Bull. Remember Bald Bull, that he would come back and do his like little and then as soon as he would come up to you, you'd have to hit him right in the stomach just once, and then he would just he'd go down, so and then that would be it.
That's how they speed run the game. So it's crazy fun to watch, though. But,
I've only ever made it to Mike Tyson once. Okay, and it's not like, what was it? You didn't save the games; you had to have the passcodes. Remember?
Yeah.
And then I had this piece of paper. I remember this, that you would what, face the first 3 and then you'd go to the next group of opponents, but it would say, oh, here is your secret code that if you would put, the next time you would come to play it, you would have this code and you would pick up where you left off. So I remember I made it through the first 3 and then made it through, oh my God, I can't remember Logan. I remember these names. I remember I made it through Don Flamingo, King Hippo, and the Great Tiger. Remember that dude that disappeared and everything? And then made it past those and then made it to Soda Popinski, Macho Man, and Bald Bull. And then you went back and fought some of the other guys again later on because they got better, I made it to Mike Tyson once. And he punched me once and I was knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that was the end of the game. And then I went, oh, I was so angry. I didn't want to play anymore. It was like a couple of days later, I went to play and I kept this little notebook. I had a little kids school notebook or something that I kept all my Nintendo cheat codes and notes in, that you learn from Nintendo Power and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It was one of those, it wasn't a full-size notebook. It was one of those pocket notebooks. I could still remember it to this day. But it was beat up to hell. Okay, because that's the one, it had dirt all over it and it was falling apart and everything. So I go to play Mike Tyson's Punch-Out and I'm looking for the code book. And I was like, I can't find it. And I remember this. I asked my mom, hey, have you seen that code book? Or that little notebook by the Nintendo downstairs, Mommy? Oh, yeah, that one. I threw it away because it was falling apart. Every single passcode, cheat code, anything I ever had for any of my Nintendo games was in that little notebook. And my mom threw it away because she said it looked like it was all falling apart and it was filthy. No. So I lost every single code, especially to Mike Tyson. Never, ever, ever, ever made it back to Mike Tyson again. Never was able to get to the final, the final board of Contra ever again, or Castlevania, or 1943.
I had a similar thing, but it was with Power Rangers. I was a huge Power Ranger nerd, and they would in England they would show 10 minutes of an episode, in the mornings while kids were getting ready for school. Yeah. And the Green Ranger 3-episode event where he basically came into the scene, I had meticulously recorded it for 3 weeks in a row where I would record and then stop and then the next day hit record again. Yeah. So it would be directly, if I watched it back, it would be, whole episodes. And it got to Thursday of week 3. There's 10 minutes left in an episode, which I'm going to get the next day. And I go to record it, and my mum had rewound the tape to the beginning.
Oh, no. And you didn't know this?
I didn't know this. So I got home that night, I'm going to watch all of the Power Rangers. Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks.
But anywho, yeah, that was what we, lady audience, that's what we thought of the Iron Mike Tyson fight. Did not meet the hype. That's what I'm going to say. So I think we could both agree on that. What do you think, audience? For those of you that have seen it, what do you think? Let us know. It doesn't hurt. We always like to hear what our fans like to say. Isn't that right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So, Logan, I think we should we let the audience know now who our next guest is going to be, or do you want to keep it a secret?
No, let's build it up because I want the people to know who it is. Maybe look her up on YouTube. Look some matches that she's done before she gets it.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, on this December 6th edition of Ring the Bell Radio, pro wrestler Tiffany Grady will be joining us on the show. So Tiffany Grady, that's Tiphani Grady. If you want to look her up, like Logan just said, find some of her matches on YouTube. She's in Allentown, Pennsylvania, so she's a Pennsylvania native, Logan.
Woo woo.
Granted, she's on the other side of the state from where we are. But yes, Tiffany Grady will be joining us this Friday, December 6th on that episode. So yeah, hey, you know what? Why don't we do this here, King? Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question you would like us to ask Miss Grady, message us on Facebook, Instagram, the X, or send us a good old-fashioned email at ringthebellradio@gmail.com. You know, we had a very decent response when we had Joseph von Schmidt on, you know, fan emails. And then I think Barris wrote a couple of his own that he said were fans. But that's another discussion for another day. But yes, Tiffany Grady, Friday, December 6th, she will be joining us on the show. So yes, look her up. I believe we will be putting some material up on our social media so you could see her, see some of her matches and all that. So anyway, I think that's it. If you want to listen, ladies and gentlemen, obviously you found us to listen to this episode. But if you want to go and listen to our whole past library of episodes, you know where they can go, Logan? Ringthebellradio.com. Yep, www.ringthebellradio.com. You go there, and guess what? There's the list of how you can listen to us. Isn't that right, King? You could pick your platform. Go right there. You could, if you want to go to Spotify, if you want to go to Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube. What's another one we're on? I can't even remember. Amazon Music, Pandora.
The Apple people.
The what?
The Apple people.
I already said Apple. It's the Apple Podcast.
Okay.
Are you not listening to me again?
I was reading something really interesting.
What were you reading? What was more interesting than what we're talking about right here?
So The Hangover 2,
oh Lord,
a week before it came out in the theaters, had a lawsuit put against the production company. Guess who it was from?
Iron Mike.
Iron Mike's tattoo artist, because they copied Iron Mike's tattoo for the guy's tattoo that he gets in the movie. And the tattoo artist that did that on Mike was like, that's my design. That's copyright infringement.
What made you want to look up The Hangover 2?
No, it was just up there as a random fact about Mike Tyson.
That's what she said. It was just up there. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, like I just said, ringthebellradio.com. Go there and listen to our any show you want. You can go all the way back to 2010, I believe, Logan, before you were even on the show, before the DJ was on the show, when I was just stuck with, when I was with Marvelous Matt, and then for a while I was stuck with Frank, and then you guys came along. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully next time the Barris will be here. And then we could, he can explain where he was. But anyway, I got nothing else, Logan. Is there anything like you would like to say more to the audience, to my audience?
Yeah, tune in to ringthebellradio.com on your favorite platforms, 6-inch platforms, heels. I mean, if you don't have to wear platforms, you don't want to. Sneakers. You can wear sneakers, shoes. I mean, if you fancy slippers, I mean, go for those.
You're a dick. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.